going to call this meeting to order. Will y'all please stand for the invocation? Miss Hamilton?
Join me. Father God, we just come to you now. We just praise you and thank you for all that you do, for the bountiful rain that you brought to our land. We ask that you just continue to bless us and bless our land, Lord, as you see fit. And Father, we just ask a special blessing on each one of these commissioners. Lord, we just ask that you're with them, that you guide them and direct them to glorify you in their decisions. And Father, just be with each and every employee of this county, with their loved ones. Just keep them all safe and healthy. Lord, we pray over our community and our county, Lord, our state and our nation. Just be with our leaders at all levels as they make decisions. And we just thank you that you are God and that you are above all. We thank you for sending your son. It's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the zeal symbol of perfect friendship among our other cultures.
Okay. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. I so move to approve the agenda. Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Second item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the August 10th meeting. Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time we will take public requests. So anything that y'all have, we can get up there and do it. You have about 3 minutes to speak. Would you like to go first? Turn it on. And please say your name while you're up there.
Thank you. My name is Angie Smith, and the last time I addressed you all was on behalf of Right to Life, because on January 12th, this commission declared all of Roosevelt County a sanctuary for the unborn children, their mothers, and medical professionals. And I'm coming to you today to actually extend an invitation. It came to my attention recently that there are still people that are unaware of the Pregnancy Resource Center that is in Clovis and also has a satellite office here in Portales. They are a ministry. Their main focus is to reach out to women who have found themselves in a unplanned pregnancy, and they may be frightened, they may be scared, and they seek help. And this ministry, without any judgment, without any kind of coercion of any kind, they set out to tell these young ladies or these mamas the truth about what it would take to have birth, what birth would take and raising the children on their own, tell them the truth about adoption, and they tell them the truth about abortion, what they would be looking at so they are fully informed in whatever decision they make. And they walk them through whatever decision they make, whether it's for the life of their unborn or whether that mom chooses to abort the child, then they always make the extension, we are here if you decide you need help. Because many women, after having an abortion, struggle very hard with the decision they made, and they need help to remedy that in their lives. Their main fundraiser every year is their banquet, which is held this year. I believe it's October 21st. I know it's in the mid to late October. I can verify the date for you. It is a banquet that is their main fundraiser, as I said, and your fundraising does not come from paying to attend the dinner because it's covered by underwriters. So everybody's meals are covered that attend. But at the end of the evening, after the presenters and the special speaker, they give everyone in attendance an offer, an opportunity to give to this ministry. You can give a one-time gift. You may sign up to give monthly. Even $20 a month is huge for this ministry. Or you can choose to do both. It's entirely up to you. The understanding is by the end of the evening, though, that you were there with the intention of giving to this ministry. And I got to thinking after visiting with Commissioner Dixon yesterday, I thought, how wonderful would it be for one table to host the governing body that declared Roosevelt to be a a sanctuary for the unborn, their moms, and our medical professionals. So this is simply an invitation. I would be honored to set that up, to set a table for you and a guest if you would like to be in attendance and represent the governing body of Roosevelt that supported such an issue. And now you have the opportunity to come and be a part of helping to take care of women that find themselves in a very scary situation and their children. So if you would like that, I can give you my phone number and you can reach me, or I can give you my email address for Right to Life, and you can contact me and I will stay in contact with you and get you all set up. So my phone number is 575-714-0160. If you lose this, Commissioner Dixon has my number. My email address, I think maybe even Mr. Savage has it, I don't know. And my email is angie.smith.rtl@gmail.com. And this also goes for our county manager. This goes for the county lawyer, for Ms. Park. If any of you would like to attend, I would be so honored to help set you all up with that. And I think that would be a wonderful blessing for the Pregnancy Resource Center to see elected officials there to help with that ministry as well. No pressure. It's just an invitation. Thank you.
Angie, tell me the name of that facility again and the address.
The Pregnancy Resource Center, the main office is on Main Street in Clovis. I don't have the exact one, but I can get it.
Satellite.
It's here in town. It is on, what is that street? It's close to St. Helens. It's in, it was where the old Department of Motor Vehicle was, in the white brick building. They have their offices in that old shopping center. And if you like, I will get you a specific address.
I'm Levita Patterson, and I'm here to ask for your help. We live southwest of Portales and have for years. We try to keep our places picked up. We take our trash to the convenience center on Avon, North Avon. And we become extremely upset and insulted when people dump their trash, old furniture, mattresses, construction materials, tree limbs, grills, yard items, dead dogs, and so forth in the bar ditches. And we have had a rash of that in the last, I don't know, several months. So I guess that they're cleaning up their backyard, but they're sure messing up ours. And so I would like to know what you could do to help us solve that problem. I guess that what they do is they have a big load of trash, but they don't dump it all in one place because that takes too much time and it's too much. So they go around and dump a little here and a little there. And it's Road 10 and Road S and Road U. They're getting covered. Also, this morning I found out from some people that live in on Road 10 at 1951. They have 4 children that are going to school, but the school bus will not come to their house because of the road. Of Road S and Road 10. Well, they don't even do that anymore. He doesn't want to come there. So I think we need some help on that. That's not right for people to have 4 kids that need to go to school and they can't ride the school bus. So those 2 items I'd like to get addressed.
Anybody else? Okay.
I'd like to address the school bus situation.
I got a phone call on that this morning. I was going to talk about it when I came up.
Okay.
But yeah, I did. I got
Okay.
a call on that this morning.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you very much, y'all. Okay. Moving on to elected officials and department heads. Mr. Porter, detention.
Morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Facility count this morning is 57, 13 females and 44 males. Currently, we're housing 1 out-of-county detainee. Total number of bookings for August was 56. The total number of releases in August was 67. Billing for last month, Guadalupe was billed $970. Quay County was billed $2,325, and the city of Portales was billed $2,530 for a total of $5,830. Some of the things that are going on in the detention center. Last month, we had a walkthrough with Apex Solutions. That's the company that's going to be coming in and updating all of our camera systems. They demonstrated some of the cameras and some of the options. We started talking placement and everything else. We were very happy with what we saw, I was able to bring the demonstration to the county manager and show her the differences we're going to see in our camera system, and we're very happy with where we're going. Still doing our COVID safe practices in the facility, still cleaning rapidly, doing our testing of all of our staff and all of our detainees regularly. One of the biggest changes that changed last month was the courts have now asked for us to do in-person transports to court, which was a concern for a lot of us about the detainees having contact with the public because they were in the environment where they were safe, it was controlled, and the contact with public was a concern for some of us, but the courts asked us to do it. We've been doing it. We've been collecting some information. Last week, I met with a couple of the New Mexico Supreme Court justices to talk about some of the concerns, some of the contacts, and some of the situations that had come up that we believe was a part of these transports. So we're revisiting that. There may be some changes in that. But a part of just those in-person court transports, we're seeing now to make sure that it's everybody involved. We're actually testing detainees with rapid kits before they go to court. And then the following week when they get back, they're tested again to make sure that they're relatively safe to be in population. Mexico Department of Health has recommended anybody that leaves the building and has contact with the public outside start their quarantine process over again, which is 10 to 14 days. So these were some of the things that we brought up with the justices and said, did you understand that when these people go to court, they're going to go back into quarantine regardless of how long they've been in custody? And they felt comfortable that this is the direction we needed to go. So we're trying to talk to them right now and work through this and try and create an environment that's safe for everybody involved. So that's some of the things that we're working through right now. We had 2 transports last month. The detention center took 4 males to the Department of Corrections and then 2 females to the Department of Corrections and Grants. I'm happy to announce that starting last week, our MAT program manager has started. MAT, again, being the medicated assisted treatment. This is the program that we've been working on, myself, the county manager, and several other people, to bring a medicated assisted treatment program, which will help people that are addicted to opioids and alcohol. Our program manager hit the ground running last week. We had some meetings with her and the program manager, or with the medical provider, to start talking about processes and start ironing out some things. With that, I want to mention to everybody that we have a training on the 15th for first responders, where we're going to talk about our MAT program, what they can see is going to be coming out of the detention center, because as a part of the MAT program, we're going to be prescribing some medications to help people with addiction. We're also going to continue to provide Narcan to some of these people being released. So we kind of want to let our first responders know what may be. Right behind that, we're going to have a training orientation for the community too. Right as we get ready to roll out the program, we're going to be talking to the community and saying these are services we're going to be offering through the jail, and trying to educate them and trying to get support from the community and the hospitals again, to show that we're trying to help these people that may be struggling to help themselves. So we got a lot on our plate right now. With the MAT program, we've already had 2 trainings. We had one for the staff to try and get rid of the stigma around some of these medications. And we also did a training for some of the local providers, some pharmacies in the area, to try and share with them, like, hey, look, we're going to have these people be referring to you, even at the pharmacy levels, prescribing to try and help these individuals. So program, it's been super busy. Myself and the county manager, Amber, have been working. We're getting close to a year now working on this program, and we're looking forward to have it up and running here very shortly. So we're pretty excited about it. People in the state are already asking for us to share some more information. This is in preparation. We believe that soon they're going to ask for all detention centers in New Mexico to have MAT programs. So we're trying to design a program that we can model for others, that will be feasible and help the people in our community. So, no, it looks like that's the end of my notes. With that, I'll stand for any questions.
Anybody got anything? Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
Okay. Healthcare. Is that going to be you? Okay.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. So I'm here today to present healthcare on behalf of Ms. Costas, who is out of the office today. So if we can go into indigent.
Madam Chair, I move we go into indigent.
Got a motion, a second. Mr. Grade. Mr. Greider? Yes,
Yes.
we are
Thank
in
you.
injunctive.
Okay, so included in your packet was a highlight of the claims. What she has presented is 23 total claims for a total dollar amount of $7,984.05. Those include a breakdown of the different clinics that were listed below. Total it approved was all 23. Total disapproved was 0. Do y'all have any questions on what we're presenting?
Madam Chair, I move we come out of indigent.
Second?
Yes.
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 Okay.
With that, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the indigent report.
I'll second. Got a motion and a second. Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roads, Mr. Lovato.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. We have been truly blessed these last couple of weeks with all this rain we're getting. I've seen dry land crops just look amazing. Y'all's grass look amazing. But with that, y'all know that we have all these troubles with all these roads now. But we're out there blading. We're using our rollers that y'all bought us. Just wanted to let y'all know that these roads are taking us a little longer to fix because it's all rutted up. You know, when it's dry, we can cover 10 miles per blade a day, maybe 5 miles now until we get around and do all this maintenance that we got to do. We don't jump around. Where we left off last week is where we'll start today. So only time we'll jump around if it's a safety issue. So if there's a big hole in the road or something really bad that needs to be fixed, we'll go out and do it. Also, we started Sundale Valley last week. It's going smooth. We closed the road today. We're putting in some culverts for drainage. We should have that done by 4 o'clock today. We'll reopen it. Ms. Patterson's talked a little bit about trash. So I'd like to touch on that a little bit. I know that's further down on y'all's list on the agenda, but I want to let y'all know that I've gotten a list from Ms. Hamilton. The sheriff's office sent me a big list of trash that needs to be picked up. A couple of my guys also told me where some other piles were at. And hopefully tomorrow I'll have a 2-guy crew, one on the backhoe and one on the pickup with the trailer. And the reason for the backhoe is this trash is wet. The mattresses are heavier than ever because of the wetness of them. So we will make our rounds tomorrow, not just that area, but we'll travel a good area around Portales, a good 7-8 miles out, a good radius. And cattle guards, we'll jump back on that on Thursday, and we'll start again back out there at Woody's Acres. We'll hit every one of them that are out there. We pulled out of there. I drove it last week, and Woody's Acres was just completely underwater. We weren't going to get nothing done for a couple more days. So hopefully by Thursday, we should be able to get in there and get after it. Got anything for me? Oh, I do want to talk a little bit about the bus. I went out and looked at the road that Miss Patterson was talking about. And we've had this conversation, Miss Patterson and I, going up to the house. It's always rough board. But school bus, I did talk to Mike Terry. Mike Terry said, even if we fix the road, they would not pick up the kids because they can't pull in there and turn around. So it's not us, it's the bus barn. They need to visit with Mr. Terry and see what they're going to do about that. The way I understood it, at road S and 10 is where they're going to pick up the kids. Last I was told. But they would not go up to the house. There's not a place to pull up there and turn around those big buses. He said it'd be about a 4 or 5 point turn just to make that turn. So I did talk to the bus barn about that. That's all I got.
Anybody got anything for it?
Prayers. I know you guys are working hard. Going to hear a lot of complaints, but
We'll get around.
we got your back.
We'll get around. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you.
one other thing.
Wait.
The county is a great family. Is all I got to say is thank y'all, everybody.
Thank you. Mr. Sid.
Mr. Lovato,
Yes, sir.
I've had the opportunity to drive around some in my district. And I think there's Missy. I think y'all did a super job with what you've got to work with.
Well, thank you.
But,
I greatly appreciate that.
I had a call yesterday about a road. I went and looked at it. It's, you know, where the county line road is paved, it goes from the curve to the state line. G and F coming off of that going south is Caliche, but Caliche is in pretty good shape for a mile. Past there, on G and F, the Caliche runs out, it's not too good shape. I don't know right now if there's anything you can do about it. I drove down there and on G, I ran into a lake. I'm sure there's nothing you can do until it dries out,
Correct.
but you might, when time is available, check that out and see if there's anything. That farmer has a sprinkler going there. That road that ends at his circle. You can't get to it without leaving the road in four-wheeler and driving on private property to get there. So might be, when you can get to it, might go out there and check that. It's G, North Roosevelt Road.
Right.
G, coming off of 3, North Roosevelt Road, 3, G going south.
Is that Mr. Itzinger down there?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking.
so it's, I realize weather, I think y'all did a super job.
Well, thank you.
Just when you can get to it.
Thank you. And I'm sure the crops are coming off too. Yeah. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Ms. Hamilton.
Yes. Good morning again, Madam Chair, Commissioners. So real quick, included in your packet was the confirmation that we received that the Roosevelt County final budget for fiscal year 21-22 has been reviewed and approved by the local government division director. And they are proceeding to issue their formal letter, but there is our acknowledgement of the final approval of that, which needs to be noted in the minutes. The next thing that I wanted to run down the list, just touching on the road, we're having to send out trash crews every 2 to 3 months. So as y'all begin to discuss your illegal dumping issue, please know that even though we're not staffed for that, and even though that's not a function of the county road crew, that is something that we're having to do. We've gone around town just within the last 3 months, whenever, because we had to do it before the shredder. And then we have a crew that's going before the shredder every time on the chip seal roads again. And we're getting all the trash that we can see. The problem is, as y'all know, with 6-foot tall weeds in some of these places, they're really good at hiding their trash up in there until you don't know it until you get it. And so those are some of the things that we're having to deal with. We have one of our most seasoned drivers on the shredder, so that we're going very, very slow. We're watching for things. You know, we've got a lot of experience out there, but we're going to continue to deal with that. So as y'all discuss your illegal dumping topic a little bit later on, just know that that's something that we're having to do much more frequently. And it's obviously frustrating for all of us when we have a great convenience center right here by the city. I mean, it's $2 or $4 to go take a whole load. So there's just really no excuse. But I know y'all will talk more in depth about that. Just want to touch on it. Also, we're in the middle of the internal transition to hosted services for Tyler during this month of September. Chase is working with the staff to ensure we're phasing it through. So this week we had the assessor's office moving over. We had a meeting last week with the treasurer's office, administration, and finance, so that we can plan everything out as we transition over to these services for all of our software there with Tyler. We also received notice from Mental Health Resources of their intent to vacate the Bonham home. They are running into more issues with state regulations with that, and so they intend to vacate that facility in November. They will no longer be housing at-risk boys there, as has been the custom for many, many years. We do have capital outlay for that, so we are going to go in there once they have vacated, and we'll be able to replace all the doors, the windows, repair the stucco, new HVAC. We're going to do everything. We're going to go as far as that capital outlay will allow for us to. I believe we received 90,000 from Representative Anderson. So we're going to address as many of those issues as possible. And then we will come back before the commission and see what else, other purpose we might need to look at for that building. There's definitely a need for mental health services and such along those lines. So there's a lot of opportunities that we can look at. And so those will be coming back before y'all once we make those repairs to the building that are necessary. The last thing that I really wanted to touch on is that the American Rescue Plan Act funding has been secured. Y'all received that, and we were waiting until this budget year. We've received the final rules. It's about 80 pages of fun. I'm happy to share it with you if y'all would like to read that, but that's what I've been sorting through and highlighting. So at this point, we want to look at scheduling a workshop, either at the meeting later in September or maybe even October might be better, so that we can start discussing the commission's vision with these funds, and where y'all would like to go. We have, with the final interim rule, we'll know what is available for those funds and what isn't. Like the funds can't be used for roads. So we can use them for infrastructure projects as it relates to certain aspects of COVID management, like with our detention center cameras that y'all have already approved, because we're again monitoring and assisting with our COVID response over there. So those are all things that we'll be able to have in some type of workshop. It'll be very similar to what we do like for our roads and everything. So if y'all can kind of look at your calendars and think about that and see if y'all want to do that following one of the meetings in October, then we can look at that too. And we can touch base on that at a later date. I just wanted to plant the seed. And then other than that, I think Justin and Rick covered the rest of my list in their report, so I would stand for any questions.
Discuss it later.
Okay, moving on to commissioners. I wanted to bring up that I got a call this morning on that road as well for the school bus. I didn't know about the school bus going down there, about not being able to turn around or whatever. I was also told about the fact that it holds water down before that house anyway. And they were concerned about that. And I think Jason had, he had something on that road. Okay. So he had it on that too. And it was also about the illegal dumping. So I didn't know if there was something we could at least drive out that road. I know it's a bus road anyway, but I didn't know if we could drive out that road or something anyway and just check out what they're talking about the belly and stuff that's in that road and where it holds water. Okay. And we have pictures for later when we get to that agenda item. Did you have something?
I'll touch y'all.
Did y'all have anything?
No.
Okay.
Photo 5 in there is the county road right in front of the home where they will not pick up the children.
Okay. Yep.
And then the road beyond their west is impassable because of the water that stands in.
Okay.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have to turn around at that home. They could go to you and go out.
Okay. That's what I'll show Rick and Hamilton and drive it and figure out what's the best course of action when they discuss it with the bus barn or whatever. Okay. You can. Are these both the same?
Yes.
I'll go split this way then, y'all.
And all that dumping has occurred out there in the last 7 days.
We'll talk about the dumping spot. Okay, so we're going to move on and then we'll discuss all those dumping spot, okay? Okay. All right, so moving on to old business. Consideration of modification of the memorandum of understanding between the City of Portales and Roosevelt County for placement of secured lock boxes. Ms. Park.
This is basically the same one that we looked at last month, and when it went to the city council,
Michael's attorney wanted to see that it was not their responsibility to make corrections or changes or even notifications if there was a power outage or an internet outage. So the Secretary of State's office added some language that said the county would automatically get a notification from the box that says there's a problem. So that it's in the parties' responsibilities. They added to our responsibility that we have to initiate the fix when there's an electrical or internet issue. And yes, that was already my understanding of the way it would work anyway, but they wanted it in writing.
You need a motion to approve the new amendments to the contract?
Mhm.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Yes.
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 Motion carries. Now we're at discussion of illegal dumping issues and remedies. As we get started on this, thank you for the pictures, by the way. As we get started on this, I was not aware, and you may already, I was not aware until actually Friday. I have a contractor working at my house, and he gets taking out some old windows and stuff, and he's gonna take them to the convenience center that night. And then when he came back the next morning, his trailer was still loaded. And I'm like, I thought you were gonna dump all that. He said, the convenience center is no longer open all day. It is now because they are short-staffed due to COVID. The weekend hours, the 1:30 to 4:30. Well, any of the contractors and stuff, the majority of them are all at work. And so I realized, I think that's where a lot of this contracting material that she was talking about, when the convenience centers only open the weekend hours all the time. They're only open from like 1:30 to 4:30 or 1 to 4:30, whatever it is. In the afternoon, that's the only time that they're open.
I know some.
So they had said that it began, they had just been doing that for a little while, but I've noticed that there seems to be a time frame with everything as it started getting worse. Seems to be when it started closing, you know,
I know that the city did send out a public announcement stating that they would be operating at those hours indefinitely, but there hasn't been any set time frame. We've been actually seeing contractor materials. We had a large dump out in Arch, and that's been 6 months ago. So we've actually been picking up quite a bit of contractor material for months, because even if they're
Years.
open,
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't,
yes,
yeah.
even if they're open at 8, you know, a lot of the contractors are already there
Well,
and everything. And so that's where we've really had an alarming amount of contractor type stuff. And not just household trash now. We try to work any kind of dump as best we can with the sheriff's office and have them investigate to the best of their abilities and such. But I know provided in y'all's packet was the resolution that y'all had adopted, and it's still in effect at this point, in regards to that illegal dumping and any rewards that are offered as a result of any person being caught doing the illegal dumping. So
If I remember right, not only did the county offer a reward for catching anybody, but I believe
Crime Stoppers.
Crime Stoppers had an equal amount. If I remember right.
They did something at the time. I'm not sure where the organization is at this point in terms of Crime Stoppers, but I know that our reward is still active and there. We do have some key locations that we've been really trying to combat. Mr. Montiel has helped with our trial, you know, just putting up the video cameras and everything. And it's helped in those areas, but they also know where the cameras are. And so they're really good at driving outside of the camera view, there's just only so much that we're able to do electronically and monitoring those. So we're really hoping that we can help. And I will be reaching out to the media following the meeting, but just really trying to raise some awareness of that this reward is still in place, and that if somebody sees something, then say something and we can see what we're doing. But they're also really good, as all of us know, at they don't dump necessarily right in the middle of the day when anybody can see it. A lot of times it's done under the cloak of darkness, we've noticed. And sometimes it's not even off the road, and then we have safety issues and such too. So,
I know the southern part of the county that I, Commissioner for is by the old dump, and we have always had a horrible time. We even have people that will stop in the middle of the road and do their tilt trailers with medical supplies. I caught one gentleman with his medicals, he dumped all his medical supplies, his name, pill bottles, syringes. If you see something like that, call the sheriff's department, ask them to look for names, something, way to identify. I know one time me and the sheriff caught a dumper by going through the couch, found the piece of their letter, they threw out their couch, they allowed to clean it. So the best deal is to watch, and if you notice it, get somebody out there. I mean,
So what's the fine if you do get charged with them?
I'm not for sure what the fine is in the county, but the sheriff, I know about 6 years ago, we instated this reward because we had people who were dumping the semi tires, and they got done with the truck tires that go to the bar ditch, 6 to 8 semi tires that Ricky and him had to deal with. And like you said, they get full of dirt. There's no way, that you pick up a semi tire full of dirt. So, they better pick it up now. On road, what was it, 3 years ago, we just redid road 9. The next day I sent Amber pictures, they dumped an animal, couches, TV,
tires.
and a big screen TV, all the day after they moved out their equipment. So these people that are dumping are watching. We're gonna have, as a community, watch out for each other. If we see a different vehicle or trailer, I don't know. I have my phone, when I do that, I take a picture of their license plate, so if something comes up,
So what's the reward for turning someone in?
it's $500, or that's what we voted. I don't know if that's something we ought to look at
It's a
raising.
$500 reward to any person who provides information leading to the arrest and conviction of any person caught illegally dumping waste materials of any kind, all forms.
And at that time, too, Crime Stoppers was helping us, and they have, I believe, a $500, so it's up to $1,000.
It needs to be $1,000 fine.
There is a state statute, but it appears that it only relates to a facility. In other words, an illegal dump, not to just spot dump it. But I hadn't looked at that till just now.
It's not for spot dumping.
It's not for
just
spot dumping, it's for somebody setting up an illegal dump site.
illegal. Is that something we would have to set up as an ordinance, Randy? For a
We-
fine like that? I
We
mean,
could do that, yes, I think you'd have authority to enact an ordinance to, impose a criminal fine, potentially even jail time.
I think that's what we should do.
I know, and
I think so.
I hate to talk too much in this situation, but I've caught a lot of people dumping because in my job, I drive the roads all day long back and forth. One time I caught this older lady and all she was doing was dumping her leaves and sticks that she cleaned up in her yard. I felt horrible. But she dumped them right in the middle of the county road. She said, well, they'll blow away. And I'm all like, I drive this road every day. I don't want to drive through that.
Unless they got a net in them. We
And-
had leaves in the net.
And she, I felt bad because, I tried to tell her about the convenience center, but she did act like she didn't want to pay $3 to get rid of her leaves
Right.
and brush.
One of the solutions, I think most of the people that do this wouldn't pay, they wouldn't haul it to the dump ground and dispose of it properly if you paid them. But if we had a free day, once a week, twice a month or something like that, maybe we would get more of it in the proper place.
We don't control, or you want, like, the county does not have it.
Right, but even the Portales facility here,
That would be something for the city of Portales, for y'all. to visit with. We have no control over what the city.
because when they started charging people and closed the dump out south of town, they were dumping it everywhere up and down the county
Oh, yeah.
roads out there. immediately.
And
They
I'd be,
closed the gate.
I'd be happy to go with you and talk to the council. I mean, to work with us from the county out there. I mean, because I agree, we need to do something, but we don't control the dump, they do. So, I mean, I'd be happy to talk to somebody over there.
Well, if
see
it
what they
was
would do.
left out there, we'd look like Malaysia in no time. Because I can tell you how many loads I've hauled off in the last 7 years out there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way, is there any way that the county could have a place one day a month free?
That would be, something I believe would have to be, figured out in the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the budget's already made and it's kind of short. We all know the price of everything's going up.
It's also a violation of the Anti-Donation Act clause at this time.
We would have to
It's
charge
not,
some.
you have, because
Oh.
the county incurs costs, the city incurs costs with accepting it and staffing it and then hauling it off. So the way that the anti-donation clause is written is that it's not something that would impact and benefit all taxpayers. So therefore it becomes a violation because of the donation aspect of it that is only benefiting some residents and not all.
I don't know why it wouldn't benefit all of them. I mean, it's there for everybody. I would think it would benefit. I mean, I know Elida, they have one that they put a roll-off dumpster, but of course, in order to use it, you have to be
You have to pay.
you have to be on the, have a water bill like you have a regular dumpster, but there's a big roll-off for your big stuff, just in case.
Well, one on me is, I was going to Dora, and Dora has a
Mm.
dumpster, so does Floyd, everybody. And well, I'm going out to Dora, and I get fuel, and I see the dumpster, and I throw my trash in it right quick, take off. Well, 2 or 3 days later, Miss Ray sends me a bill. I have to pay my part of the Dora community trash dump. And I could dump the rest of the month there, but I would still like to pay $10 a month. So I don't know how a community dumpster would work on a county level, on a city where they can control it yet. I think this has been a touchy situation for little 6.5 years I've been a commissioner. And I'm just like, oh, y'all, there's nothing makes me mad. Drive down the bar ditch and somebody throw out a dead animal, wrapped in a tarp, in a blue barrel, or a bunch of semi tires, or somebody's big screen TV that everybody drives by and shoots it all up and makes it a mess.
The recliners and couches.
I mean, I'm willing to listen to ideas, you know, the dumpster idea, we've faced that before and it just.
Well,
never
I've got
came
4, 10, and 12 yard roll-offs. If y'all will set up a facility, I'll provide the roll-offs, whatever, once a month to haul this stuff off.
Now, then that'd be another legal question. If somebody got hurt on the property, putting the trash in there or crawling in there and getting it out, these are things that we get sued for lots of times. I call it stupidity of people.
You still have to get all your permitting and everything.
Would have to have a permit for a trash site.
Yeah, I don't know the answer. We can do that if we without looking at it.
We can look into it.
I'd like to mention something on the school bus deal since Mr. Savage is here and he's been on the school board. I don't know if anybody else. Does the schools tell the bus where to go pick up children, or does the bus tell the school where they'll go?
Seems to me like the bus contractor, in my experience, drives all the routes, and they would go wherever they need to go, unless there's a problem like this. Then they'll tell them, no, we won't go there. So it's kind of a cooperative effort there, but, the school tells the bus driver where to go, but then when they go drive the routes, if there's a problem, then they say, we can't go there. So I don't know if that answers your question.
I think there's a problem with, from what I understood from the school bus before, was, when we first started the one out there at Delta, Elida, they had to make it big enough that they could circle around. Because the bus was not allowed to back up. It's not allowed to back up and it's not allowed to get out and open a gate. They cannot back up. If that's-
We really don't have the bus issue on the agenda. We have the legal hazard. Just
You know, Madam Chairman,
Mhm.
I'm confused about the fees at that convenience center. I've gone to that convenience center dump it several times. And I just pull up there and tell them my name and address, and they say, okay, dump, take it over here. And I've never been charged a fee. So, I'm confused about, we're talking about a fee for dumping there.
I think during COVID, they didn't charge. During the height of COVID, I don't think they were charging that much. Because of
They have
COVID.
I
fees.
see.
Yeah, they have fees.
If you don't have a water bill, I dump there quite often. If you don't have a city water bill, they charge you by the yard, which would be like a pickup bed full was considered a yard, which is about $4 and so many cents. But if you have a water bill, for Tallahassee City water bill, that shows that you pay for dumping, you can dump there for free. And yes, during COVID, I took a load out there and they didn't want to trade money. They wanted to keep their 6 feet and dump. So, but that's how the community center works. And it usually, with them being shorthanded, I haven't been out there, but I've dumped on Sunday afternoons. It was always open on a Sunday afternoon. Saturdays till like 4.
It's the 1 to 4:30 or
Yeah.
1 to
Yeah.
4.
And it's always been real easy. I mean, you gotta be honest, tell them what you have in there, because they have certain sections to put your trash in or your brush. But I've used it multiple times. It's very handy.
So right now, there would be no fee.
I do not know. That's the city, that's their budget, their deal. I mean, I'm just telling you when I went and used it. We have no control over what they
They're
charge or
They're
what they
currently
take
charging.
or anything.
They are currently charging.
They
But
don't
it's,
charge you.
yes, it's again about $4.
You got anything, Paul?
I don't know if Miss Hamilton, is there anything that we could reach out to other counties and maybe see how they handle their, it's not just Roosevelt County. I mean, I wonder how they handle theirs.
It comes across the manager's stream and all
Yeah.
counties are struggling with this. There has not been a golden ticket answer yet. They have tried several different things. We've got some counties that spend quite a bit of money. Johnny and I looked at an app just to report like, hey, I saw illegal dumping here or whatever, and like getting it to report and using a phone app, trying to get some of the younger generation engaged or whatever. They spent a significant amount of money and are just now starting to see if they have any measurable results on that. And so people are trying a variety of different things. We continue to go after the Clean and Beautiful grants, just to clean up litter. We've done the tire grant and some other things. But no county to date has come up with a magic bullet per se for this issue. We're all struggling with it and we've all seen it heighten, sadly, during this time. More people are at home more, apparently, cleaning out stuff or something. I don't know. More trash, something.
I know one time we caught a young man dumping trash on our road on Q over there coming off. Yeah, the sheriff said it'd be a good idea if he just cleaned the whole mile of road after he picked up his. I thought that was, I always wish there was something we could do like that. If you got caught dumping, you had to take care of that mile of road for a year. That would be, I don't know if there's any way, the law or anything we could have in our ordinance.
I would doubt that's gonna be, yeah, you're limited you're limited in the punishments you can impose.
If I was a judge, I'd make that road for a year his responsibility.
Well, can we put something on the agenda for next, in the future that we can, so that we can impose some kind of penalty or whatever and find out what rules and what laws that we have on what we have to follow, but do some form of penalty for the illegal dumping?
Well, I'd have to bring you back information on what kind of ordinance we could impose. And
That's fine.
we'd have to go through the process.
Doing an ordinance.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
And there are state laws that the sheriff's office follows. So the fines vary. It depends on what's dumped, how much is dumped, and what the sheriff can charge them with. So there's
Okay.
not like a set, hey, it's going to be this amount or it's going to be this. It's all about what they've encountered and what the sheriff's deputy is able to actually charge them with in result of the crime, whether it's, what level. We'll be happy to invite them again.
It's a real hard crime, even if we have it on the books to prove. That's the biggest problem in terms of the criminal part.
Okay. I'd just like to get more information and try to,
I like to Ms. Dixon for having this on the agenda again. That's like when you called me earlier, the more we talk about it, the more people watch. So I want to thank you for bringing this up again, and maybe everybody will keep an eye out for their neighbors.
remember the reward.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else on it, or we can move on? Okay. Item 6, 6A, discussion and consideration of Eastern New Mexico Rural Water System Project right of entry request. Ms. Hamilton.
Yes, so this was what we actually received from the Water Authority. And what they have asked, it was included in your packet, and they were asking for access of the point of entry, the right of entry from the property owners. And included in there was a map, as you would be able to see where it's coming down to Roosevelt County. So they're going to look at coming down Boston is what we've been told to come into that line. So there'll be some crossing there that we'll be working with, coming down, going along Spruce, Boston to the thing. And then they will also be heading south to Elida. So the map was included in there. All the documents were included. We're just asking for your consideration, and they're requesting your approval so that we can sign this and submit it back so they can continue on in their program planning.
Why do they need it right away from us if it's going to mostly?
Because it's still on our road. So it's still coming through ours. Like
They're gonna come down the county road and
Spruce,
all that.
Spruce is ours, and then right above Spruce, it's not going to be the,
Boston is, there's a piece
it's
of
not gonna
Boston
be-
is ours too.
yeah, and it's not going to be on Boston like it crooks over, as you can see in the map, the one over, but they're coming down county roads, so they have to. It's much like what they tried to do when they came across the Cannon Air Force Base and came to us for the first right away. However, the city of Portales said, no, you cannot take the water to those tanks. You have to bring it to this treatment center. There's all kinds of regulations as to where they can take any outside water into their systems. So that's why you have to grant them a right of entry.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion, a second, Commissioner?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
motion carries. Thank you. Resolutions, ordinances, and proclamations. 7A, consideration of resolution 2021-41 adopting an infrastructure capital outlay improvement plan. Ms. Hamilton, I'm guessing.
Yes. So included in your packet, and let me see if I can pull up my little sheet here, is the standard resolution that we have every time. So these are based on the rankings that have been presented by the department heads, and there was some discussion at your prior commission meeting. But again, we have our 5-year road plan on here, and so you will see all 5 of those reflected. We do have the road heavy equipment listed on here as item number 2 for the track that we've looked at for the road department. And it's something that they are needing for the continuation of their programs. We also have the detention center electrical upgrades. That's estimated at about 192,000, and that's just really to go throughout the facility and make the necessary electrical upgrades that we're needing. Just some lighting changes and wiring and such. As you've known, part of the front part of that facility dates back to the early 1980s, and so we're just needing to continue to address and ensure that we're taking care of our facilities. We also have our Fairgrounds Master Improvement Plan on there, and those are several phases, as you can see. We've got ADA work that's included in there. We have fencing. We have some barn renovation type stuff included on there. We've had, the fan worked so good in the show ring that they would love to see some new fans in the special event center as well, getting some of that circulated and such. And so all of those things are just included in your Fairgrounds Master Plan. Worked very closely with Mr. Spinks on that, as well as Ms. Acosta Flores. So just trying to line that out and make that something that we can spread. And then, of course, number 5 is just a couple of vehicles for the sheriff's office. If we were able to do that, then that would offset the need in our budget for a year to be able to do that instead. So those just make up the top 5. As you know, the top 5 are the key priorities. We've had multiple public workshops. We've had discussions. We've had meetings asking for public input. We did not receive any at that point, but we do have all of this updated, and Mr. Lovato will be updating his 5-year road plan, and we will also be loading that on our website so that residents are able to continue. We have the last one, but we need to add in the updates and take out the roads that have been addressed and update the new years. So we'll have all of that in place.
Then I'll make a motion to accept resolution 2021-41 document. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
8A, request for approval of contract renewal with Holy Frontier Funding Marketing.
Good morning. I would like to request the approval of the renewal with Holly Frontier Refining and Marketing so that our road department can continue to receive road materials for the fiscal year 2022.
Then I'll make a motion to accept contract between Holy Frontier Refining and Marketing.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
motion carries. Thank you. Request for approval of contract renewal for diesel fuel with Red Rock.
So same, we would like to request the renewal with Red Rock Fuel so that we can continue to receive fuel.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
move we approve the Red Rock contract.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Yes.
Commissioner Greider?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
motion carries. Thank you. What's the plan on this one? Are you going to do it, Amber? Or? I don't see Miss Reed.
Yes, I do not see Darla here. So yes,
Okay.
I'm happy to speak on this one.
Request for approval of Department of Finance, Local Government, DWI Grant Program.
Yes, so each year, Madam Chair, Commissioners, each year at the end, they take the amount of funds that were reverted from 21 to be used into 22. Y'all had this proposal in your application, or the application proposal in your packet to review. You're seeing how she wants to take those local reverted funds. The majority is going to be, of course, for minor equipment to support our local law enforcement agencies, as well as some storage units. A storage unit that she needs for herself, for her program and such. So other than that, I would stand for any questions and just ask for your approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption of 8C and approve the DWI grant program distribution.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you, guys. D, request for approval of agreement with Department of Finance. Ms. Hamilton.
Yes. So this agreement has been sent to us, and this is the first of the capital outlays that we have received. This is for $195,500, and it's to purchase heavy equipment, including a loader for the Roosevelt County Road Department. This was what we had requested, one of the items. And so I would just ask for your approval of this so we can get the process started to be able to secure approval to move forward with the invitation to bid process.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'll make the motion to approve the agreement with Department of Finance for the purchase of heavy equipment, price $195,500.
500.
There you go.
Got a motion and a second. Commissioner Greider?
Yes.
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 Motion carries. We will move into executive session.
Now, Ricky, have you found us a loader? We can
I've
get
got
more
one
materials.
spotted.
Gosh, we've been so long without. That's gonna help y'all so
966 is
much.
a 90 model. Oh. A lot of years on that one.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Rich, are you gonna go